Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Absolutely delighted today to be joined by RJ Draper, boxer. How are you doing, mate?
All good, mate. All good. You good, yeah?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Firstly, mate, thank you for being so easy to deal with. You know, we only spoke yesterday for the first time, and now we're doing it tonight. So, yeah, thank you for being a pleasure.
You're welcome, mate. My pleasure.
Now, before we jump into it, you know, we've had lots of boxers on the channel, and everyone's got a great story. Yours is a great story, but also, you know, an inspiring one as well. However, before we go back a few years, if you can just talk to us a little bit about, you know, how you got into boxing, your achievements so far.
Yeah, well, I started getting into boxing when I was about eight years old. I was at a club called Mole Valley, and I was to and fro with a few clubs. I went to Guildford, and then I was back to Mole Valley, and then I went to Repton Boxing Club in Bethnal Green. At the time when I was 8, I was overweight, and when I went to Repton, I lost a load of weight, and that's when I started getting into it from there. And then I left Repton because I couldn't get any belts, because at that time it was all about championships. I couldn't get any club shows. So then I moved to Pinewood. I've been there now for about 5 years now.
Yeah, so I know you come from a big sort of boxing family. So was it initially just to get in there and keep yourself fit?
You know, it was me. My dad done a bit of boxing when he was younger as a kid, and so did my granddad. My granddad won a junior ABAs when he was a kid. My dad done a bit of boxing. He fought George Gross when he was younger as an amateur, so he done a bit. So it's in the breeding, really. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And I know you said you moved clubs so you can go on and you know, win bits and pieces. Talk to us about
that. Yeah, so when I moved to Pinewood, that's when I had my first fight at Pinewood. I've had all my fights at Pinewood. I won my first schoolboy title in 2017. I was 12. Won my first schoolboy title. I won my second schoolboy title a few years later. But I had an accident just after I won my first schoolboy title. I got hit by a van doing 50 miles an hour. Broke 2 of my ankles, and I was out for a bit. But everybody thought I wasn't going to come back. He ain't going to get the weight off. He ain't going to come back. But I did. I proved him wrong. I come back, got me weight down, and then I went into the schools, got my second national title, and then I boxed for England and 3 Nations. Got a silver medal there. Good fight. Thought I'd done enough to win, but can't argue. Got a silver medal there, and then I got picked for the European Games back in 2019 in Georgia, and I got a bronze medal there. So
yeah, no, I think that, you know, to do what you've done in the sport of boxing without any setbacks is brilliant. So to you know, be 12 years old, I think you say you was out running at the time, training.
I was out running, yeah. I was running for a European. I was training for a European selection camp. I was training for that, and then I got run over, so I couldn't attend to it.
Am I right in saying as well that the sort of medical professionals said that, you know, there was a chance that you wouldn't actually be able to walk again?
Yeah, they thought I wasn't going to walk again.
So, yeah, mate, that's absolutely incredible. You know, thankfully, you know.
Yeah, I was in bed for 2 or 3 months, couldn't get out of bed, and then I was in a wheelchair, and then I started walking on crutches, and then I started walking again. Yeah.
Mate, blimey. So talk to me a bit about, you know, that process of sort of, as you said, you're in a wheelchair for 2 to 3 months, and then you were on crutches. What was that process like for you at 12 years old?
Well, when I got at the time, I had a lot going on, and I was diagnosed with a tumour as well. What could have been cancerous, what they thought could have been cancerous, was very serious. And at this time, I didn't know, but I was going to an hospital, Royal Marsden Hospital in Sutton. And I was having tests there, whatever, and then they told me I had a tumour that could have been cancerous, and I had to have a biopsy from my back. But out of 30 doctors, one of them said, "Let's do another test and then let's go through it again." And anyway, that night I was waiting. That night I let her come back, and I had the all clear.
And yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, go on, mate. Go on. What you saying?
No. Sorry. Yeah, go on. Continue.
Yeah. So I got the all clear, and then I started to walk. I was in crutches, started to walk again. Then I started back, and then when I started walking, I got straight back in the gym. and I lost all my weight, and then that's when I come back. So I had to do what I do best.
Get back in that boxing ring.
Yeah, do what I do best.
Was there any part of you, because I've spoke to you a few times and I've seen you on IFL, you seem incredibly mentally strong. Was there any part of you at that time that you thought you wouldn't box again, or was it always the case that
the doctor said I would never box again. There's a good chance that he's never going to be back in the ring. And I recovered really, really quick. What happened to me when I broke my 2 ankles, I recovered really quick from it. And they said they'd never box again, but I proved them wrong. I had it inside of me. I wanted to come back. I wanted it, and I proved everybody wrong.
Inspiring, story. But who inspires you? I think that over this last sort of period of lockdown, etc., there'll be people that would have been in different sports that may have not returned. But who did you look up to? Anyone? Was it members of your family? Any boxers that you look up to?
At that time, I looked up to Tyson. I looked up to Tyson because what happened to him, what he was going through in his life when he put a load of weight on and he was suffering depression and things like that, and nobody thought he'd never come back. And look what he did. He's heavyweight champion of the world now. Come back and beat Wilder.
Yeah,
I looked up to him.
It's incredible, isn't it? When you see pictures of Tyson Fury like 30-odd stone, and to what you were saying, back top of the world. So if anyone's going to inspire you, I suppose it's going to be your man Tyson Fury.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And looking forward, then I know obviously the boxing stopped with lockdown and so on, but sort of looking over the next sort of couple of years for yourself, what are the goals?
Well, I've got the use after Christmas, 3-minute rounds. I'm going to go up a year, give the year and age away, go for the belt, and then after that, I'm going to go for the use again. Obviously, the next year, go the use, and then look in the turnover. Then win a few more titles.
Absolutely. So you're going to turn over pro as early as possible.
I'm on about 18. Just see how it goes. See how it goes with the use, and obviously, if I win the use after Christmas, I've got to have the European selections, world selection, and things like that. So just see how it goes. Yeah, well, I'm looking to turn over when I'm 18.
Yeah, well, your amateur, pedigree, you've done a lot for a young man with breaks in between as well. You see a lot of pros turning over now with quite limited amateur background, but for yourself with a big amateur background, how does your boxing? That people talk a lot about the difference between amateur and pro boxing. I heard you say that you are actually a boxer. Do you feel like your game is more suited to the pro style?
It was a couple of years ago. I've always been a boxer since I was going to Repton. There was always just box. But I mentioned it, but I've been going to Adam Booth's gym. I've been in there training for a while now and I've been learning and improving. And I've changed my style a bit now to a fighter. So I can box and I can fight. And I suit 3-minute rounds, I get stronger by the minute.
Yeah, being trained by Adam Booth. So you're being
trained, yeah. I've been Adam Booth's gym, yeah. Yeah, so I've changed my style a little bit now. And I suit 3-minute rounds. So as the rounds go on, as the minute goes on, I get stronger and I get better.
And
so I'm looking forward to it.
No, absolutely. And looking forward again, looking when you turn over, how far can you go in the sport? And I believe it's a question, of course, but
yeah, I believe I can go all the way. I believe I can win things. I don't believe I know. I mean, I want to be a world champion. I want to go all the way, and I believe I can do it.
Yeah, you've definitely got the right mindset for it. Going back to your incident as well. Do you feel like the mental strength that you needed to get through that is going to help you in obviously going forward with your boxing career?
You know what it is. Where I've been. Obviously, I've been in the gym with an Alan Booth's gym, and like these last couple of years, I've come on a lot. Where I was a boxer, just box. I've changed my style up now. I'm looking forward. I'm excited for after Christmas. So I'm in the 3-minute rounds because I know that there's going to be some big knockouts coming. and everybody ain't seen the outside of me yet.
Well,
things to.
No, well, we wish you obviously the very best with your career. I know that you're only a young man, so there's going to be a lot more to talk about in the future, of course. But before we let you go, there's just a few other questions that we'd like to ask you, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah.
So, wanted to get your thoughts on the best fight so far this year.
The best fighter this year.
Absolutely.
Canelo Alvarez. Canelo. He's the daddy, isn't he?
What when we talk about best fight, what do you mean, like him against Billy Joe or Clay the Plant?
Oh, I thought you meant the best fighter. The best fight of this year was Tyson, John Wilder. Best fight yet.
Yeah, that was incredible. I think that
was an incredible fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I think like you were saying earlier as well, mate, considering where he was, he lost all the weight, come back and had, I suppose, a couple of sort of warm-up fights, and he jumped in with Wilder. But yeah, that fight this year was absolutely brilliant. Their just willingness to put it on the line.
Yeah, there was some fight.
Do you see anyone beating him?
No one ain't beating Tyson. he's just too big. Box, he can fight. He's got it all, hasn't he? He just got it all.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a big Tyson fan. Just what he's done as well. His comeback is
he's come back. Yeah, he's no one ain't beating him.
I think as well, what he does for people that it's been well documented is suffering with mental health. So what he gives back as well is absolutely brilliant.
He inspired a lot of people, didn't he? He inspired me. He inspired a lot of people all over the world. Do you know what, the fight I would like to see would be him and Joshua. Well, everybody's been looking or wanting to see that, but at the minute it don't really look like it, does it?
How do you see that one
going? Tyson knockout.
Yeah, it seems like since he's been with Sugar Hill, he's more willing, isn't he, to
yeah. He's changed his style up, hasn't he? You know what I mean? He's now he can punch. He's knocking them out now. He's changing. He's putting his shots together. He's sitting down on his shots. He's just changed his style. He can box and he can fight. I mean, he's got it all. He's tall. He's rangy. He's got everything. No one ain't beating him.
I think you've got to be a special fighter to do that. There's lots of talk at the moment, isn't there, about Joshua? Maybe he's caught in two minds before he goes into a fight. It's almost like he doesn't know his best style, but and there's talk about him now. Even Tyson Fury's offered to train him, but can you really change your style up that far into your career? But again, Tyson Fury can, but he's a very special one.
Yeah. Well, he said, didn't he? He said, if me and Sugar Hill, if I train him and we're getting beat, he said. We're getting beat.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I don't think Joshua's going to take him up on that somehow, but yeah, Fury's made it quite clear that he would quite like Joshua to step aside so he can get in there and fight.
I think he won't fight Usyk. I think he'll fight Dylan White next. I think he'll fight Dylan, and then I think Joshua will fight Usyk for the rematch, and obviously whoever wins out of that, that's who Tyson will fight.
I think White deserves this opportunity, doesn't he? He's been waiting in the wings.
Yeah, he's been waiting, and
he's been in some tough guys as well. Like Chisori a couple of times, Parker. We all know what happened with Povetkin. So yeah, no, it would be good to see it.
Yeah, he deserves his chance, doesn't he?
100%.
He deserves his chance.
But you see Fury winning that as well.
Sorry, mate. What you say?
You see Fury beating him as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say 5 rounds max, probably earlier.
So you think he stops him?
Yeah, I think he stops him. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we get to see it next year.
Hopefully, yeah.
Just before we let you go as well, then we spoke a lot about boxing. Fights coming up, and I do apologise for the connection on the video. It's
all right, mate.
None of it. But what do you enjoy doing away from boxing? I know you love the sport and you want to go all the way, but outside of boxing, what do you enjoy doing?
Outside, I'm a Christian. I'm a born-again Christian, so I like going out with the mates, go to church and things like that, and go out on the weekend with the boys and girls and just enjoy myself.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
Everything's boxing though. Everything is boxing. There's always something there with boxing. I'm always doing boxing. If it's running or training, whatever it is, I'm always doing something. Keep myself active.
Yeah, no, I saw you out. I think you was running on your story. Was it yesterday or today?
Yeah, running. Yeah, I've just started my running back up. Started getting the swing of it.
What are you running? What 5Ks, 10Ks? What sort of running do you do?
Just at the minute, I'm only just easing into it. Just doing 2 or 3 miles at the minute, and then I'll step up.
Yeah.
Just ease my way into it because I've only just started back.
Is it something that you find easy to get back into running, or?
Yeah, I've been running more or less. I've run a good few times now. But I started back last week. I'm running a good few. I'm getting back in the swing of it, and then I'm back in the gym Tuesday, back in the swing because I've got 8 weeks to the youths, so I'm starting to get in the swing of it now. I was in Tom Joyce's earlier studio 9 Fitness, doing a bit of strength conditioning, so I'm starting to get back into it now.
Absolutely, mate. Well, listen, we appreciate you coming on the channel. We obviously wish you all the best going forward, but hopefully it's the first of many, and we catch up with you again soon if that's all right with you, matey.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Thank you very much for your time as well.
No, not a problem. Again, I apologise for the connection at times, but yeah, thanks again for coming on, mate, and yeah, we'll catch up with you soon.
You're welcome, mate.
Take care.
Thank you, mate. Take care. God bless.